I'm going to take a look at how I've been organizing and storing the Arkham horror board game with almost all the expansions. The only one I don't have for it is the King in Yellow. And whenever I ordered the last set of expansions that I didn't have, they still didn't have it in stock. But I use deck boxes like these, plain old boxes, and right now I'm just using the Arkham Horror big expansion boxes to store them in. But this is a Plano box I use. Let me pause real quick and get the number for it. It is a Pro Latch 3650. Let's see, it's a little, but you can basically have up to 1, 2, 3, 4 of kind of a long or wide sections there, and then you can store a bunch of little sections here. But in this one I have the sanity markers. Get it a little closer. The health, the clue tokens, the money, the dollars and the 5s and the 10s, the stat trackers. These are all the cutouts for the investigators. The stands, I have more stands than that, I just don't, there's no need to have them. These are from one of the expansions. No, these are sealed gate tokens, I believe. I'm not positive. And here's some just little odd bits from other different things where there's either the base game or the other expansions maybe had 1 or 2 tokens. It wasn't a large collection of them. And then I have one more just like that with these tokens in it, and it has all the monster tokens, and then it has some of the expansion specific tokens where there's a good chunk of things. You know, this right here is probably one where there's just 1 or 2 tokens that there's not multiples of. And then these are some gate tokens that would add, I think, for specific expansions. The other gate tokens I didn't show in the first thing, but that's where I have the other gate tokens, is in those big containers. And then for all the little cards that come with the game, I found that this works good with the Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay too, is this Plano box. And it is a 3630 Pro Latch. But I have it kind of divided up to where I think these are whatever type of card that is. I don't remember often. Then I have ally cards, item cards or skill cards, weapon cards or item cards. These, and then the ones that would be expansion specific, I've got divided up into these different slots. A lot of these here are the ones that came with the Miskatonic, and they integrate with each of the different expansions. I just haven't done that yet. I believe these first ones were the spell cards, maybe. I'm not positive. No, these are the spell cards. I had a bunch of those. But I found that works pretty good, even in these sleeves, and these are the Fantasy Flight sleeves. Now I've tried using the, I believe it's Mayday Games sleeves. I just didn't like those as much. They weren't as thick as the Fantasy Flight was. They were kind of flimsy, almost like a penny card sleeve. And then these are the ones I use for the big cards, and they're just the standard size. But so right now it's just 3 Plano boxes, one kind of large one for the mini cards, and then 2 smaller ones to hold the tokens and dice. But just one of the boxes I have all the boards and the instructions, and then on top of that box I just stick that, and then I close that one up. And I might come up with a different kind of box storage after a while, so I can fit all this stuff in one box. But then another box, I'll have this other Plano box, and I have the cards sorted into these deck boxes. So I've got Kingsport locations, Innsmouth locations, Mythos cards from Kingsport and Innsmouth, Gate cards from Innsmouth and Kingsport, or Innsmouth and Kingsport, Dunwich location, and then the Gate and Mythos cards from the Dunwich. And then this box I will put another Plano in, and it has most of the base games, the basic Gate Mythos cards that come with the base, and then all the Arkham locations, including the ones that come with other expansions, but these are just the locations that work on the base board. And then in the 4th box I have, this is Dark Pharaoh Gate and Mythos, the Gate cards for Black Goat and Lurker in the Woods, and the Mythos cards for Black Goat and Lurker in the Woods. Ancient One plot cards, I'm not sure which expansion that was from. Looks like Kingsport maybe? I'm not positive on that. And then I have expansion specific cards in these 2 boxes, and those would be cards where you use the mechanic that goes specifically with the plot driven by a certain expansion. And also in this box I have all the ally helper cards, the reference cards, or these are the organizational cards, not necessarily allied cards, but quick reference cards, all the investigators, and ancient ones. So at a later date I may come up with a better way to organize this, you know. It'd be nice to get a nice piece of cedar maybe to make an actual box out of it, you know, kind of seal it in and have containers for all of this. As far as for play, these card things are kind of slick, so I don't really know that they would be the best. You'd have to have some sort of container when you play to kind of hold them in place, and I've seen plenty of those where people make them up. I think they may actually have the plans for them online, almost kind of a display quality thing where they set it up, almost looks like a little stadium for all your cards to set in. And I may do something for that eventually. It's not a real priority. And then up there I have all the Miskatonic cards, large cards I haven't integrated into the set yet. So it's not a real sophisticated storage method, other than the fact that I've got everything sorted into Plano cards and deck boxes and card sleeves. But that is how I'm sorting everything right now.